Hey everyone, this is your girl Miss Analytical coming to you straight out of NYC on Spreaker.com and on YouTube. Make sure to follow me on Spreaker.com and make sure to subscribe to my channel on YouTube. I just want to take the moment to just say, yes, I am so happy. And it has nothing to do with me. But I am so happy because I feel that Amber J. Phillips, you know that little black feminist radical chick? Yeah, her. She's finally getting her just dessert. I am so happy. Like, you don't know what this does to me. When I first found out the story about Amber J. Phillips versus the white woman on American Airlines, I said, yes, this is great. And I'm going to tell you why. Because Amber J. Phillips has been so disrespectful to black men through the years with the things that she has said on TV One, the things that she's written about on Twitter. I mean, this is the woman who really destroyed Birth of a Nation. She destroyed Nate Parker's career. She actually set the time out of her schedule, like every minute, not just on TV One, but on Twitter, just promoting lies about Nate Parker, just saying, oh, he is a rapist, he's a rapist, when the man was acquitted of the charges, never spent a day in jail for it, and then lied about the synopsis of the movie. And when the actress Anjanou Ellis was on TV One's Roland Martin show telling her that's not true, how are you going to tell me that I was in the movie? I played Nat Turner's mother. She going to say, oh no, you're wrong, and never saw the movie. This bitch never saw the movie. So I'm just happy that this happened to her. So I'm going to read to you what occurred with Amber J. Phillips. And this is what it says. And this article comes from Vice News. And it reads, woman claims American Airlines called the cops on her for flying fat and black. An American Airlines passenger says a flight attendant called the police on her for the apparent infraction of flying while fat and black. Amber Phillips, a 28-year-old writer and co-host of the podcast Black Joy Mixtape, said the flight attendant called the police on her following a 30-minute flight Thursday to Washington, D.C., apparently because a white woman felt uncomfortable sitting next to her. The incident began as a verbal dispute aboard the short regional flight aboard a small plane out of North Carolina and ended with two cops questioning Phillips on the tarmac after they were summoned by a flight attendant. Phillips tweeted, the cops were called on me for flying while fat and black, and she told Vice News she felt she was profiled by the white employee because of her appearance. Because of the intersections of my identity, a black woman who takes up space, this is what my life could look like just because I dare to exist, Phillips said. Phillips said there were immediate tensions between her and the white female passenger in the seat next to her. Phillips said there was immediate tensions between her and the white female passenger in the seat next to her over space in the two-seat row they were sharing. I thought, I really hope this woman isn't mean to me because I'm fat and black, Phillips said. But soon they began arguing because Phillips said the other passenger didn't want any physical contact with her. She kept being very aggressive and finally goes, can you move over? But Phillips said she had no space to move into and said she found the interaction awkward and embarrassing. So the plane takes off and I'm so sad, Phillips said. I had my hands folded in my lap. I just kept thinking, this is how fat people are treated on planes, period. Once they had landed, Phillips says she took a photo of how they were sitting to document how small the seats were. Her documentation made her seatmate audibly uncomfortable, and she apparently told a flight attendant that Phillips was harassing her. Phillips was already off the plane and on a shuttle bus to the airport when one of the flight attendants asked her to get off. I asked why, and she said, I'm calling security. I'm calling the cops, and this bus isn't moving, Phillips said. Wow. Just wow. I'm just enjoying this though. When Phillips got off the shuttle, she says an officer who had previously spoken to her seatmate was waiting with her. Phillips said he asked for identification his identification and told her he was investigating the incident as an assault. She said he never asked for her statement. And she says, so I stepped back and made sure my hands are visible. She said, Phyllis eventually left the tarmac after she confirmed she wasn't being detained, got back to the main airport area, and went home. Wow. This is, I'm going to say this. Usually, these things make me upset. And do I feel as though the white lady was right in her treatment of Amber Phillips? No. I will say that to be really a mature adult, no, she was wrong. The real crux of the situation involving this, incident is that the airlines don't make the planes, the seats on the planes, it's not a realistic, the way they're built. They're not really built realistic. They're built in the image of a thin person who's a size 4 or a man who has a weight of a 32 to about no more than a 36 sitting in those seats. They don't think of fat people because I'm going to be honest with you, these people don't think that fat people really travel, even though we know for sure that not only do they travel, but the average size is a size 12. That's being realistic, but they're selling a brand and they want to make things luxurious, and fat people are not luxurious. I'm just going to say it. That's just their thinking. However, I have to say this with Amber Phillips. Amber Phillips, nobody feels bad for you. Nobody is really rallying around you because the way that you treated people in the past, you harassed people. Yes, you were treated bad on that plane. I will say that. But was it really that bad to the point where you had to get kicked off the plane? Like, no. I feel as though you made it worse by pulling out that camera and filming the whole interactions. I personally think you made it worse. I think what you should have just did was just said, like, listen, just try to switch your seat with somebody. Just like, it's one of those things on a plane. Like, I'm not a fat person, so I will never understand it. Hopefully, I'm just gonna be honest with you. I don't want to gain any weight. I'm just gonna keep it right there because being fat is very hard. But I feel as though it's one of those things on a plane where when you're a fat person, you have to be comfortable for yourself first. You're not even thinking about the other person because I've seen it. You have to make sure that you pretty much have a lot of room. And you can't really think about the other person until after you make sure you're okay. It's just these planes need to start creating seats or even model these planes to where they're thinking of a fat person in mind. I'm just gonna say it right there. Now, I'm gonna get to Amber Phillips. Amber J. Phillips, this is your karma. This is your karma coming back twofold. Because you destroyed Nate Parker's career. You destroyed that man. That man did nothing to you. And what made the thing even worse about you is that when you went on that tangent and you said on Roland Martin's News One show that all men participate in rape culture. Okay? Now, you was careful enough to not say black men, but you said all men. Now, when you participate in something, that means that you're directly involved, whether you committed the act or you actually planned the act or you was a person that was there while the act occurred and you didn't do anything about it. Now, when you say those things, you have to be careful because if anybody was not around a rape to begin with or planned a rape or took part in a rape, therefore they're not part of rape culture. And even when Roland Martin said, Amber, I'm a man. I've never, ever participated in a rape. I've never participated in rape whatsoever. You want to say because he's a man, he directly is participating in rape culture. And I said to somebody, I said, this bitch is dangerous. And she's going to have a rude awakening one day, probably soon. And it happened less than a year. Now, I'm going to even go deeper to the crux of the situation. I feel as though you wanted to please that white lady so bad because she was white. I believe if it was a black man, you wouldn't have been pleasing him. You would have been calling him all kinds of names except for a child of God. Because you have a stance where you're anti-male, particularly anti-black men. And I believe that something happened to your psyche because I did a video on Spreaker.com about this woman. And I said that she is dangerous to the black community. And I still feel that way. Now, you were in a situation where they could have took you out of here. They could have put you in handcuffs, could have put you on the ground. And none of us would have cared because of the rhetoric that you spewed. You spewed nothing but hate. You spewed nothing but hate against black men. And it's really funny that you did all that talking, all that rhetoric, caused a movie to be destroyed. And when they mention your name in the press, they just call you a woman or a black woman. The headline doesn't even say Amber J. Phillips. It doesn't say that. It doesn't say social strategist. It doesn't say any of that. And you have a degree not just in social work, sociology, but you also have a concentration in, I believe it's Black cultural studies. You know, you're a pretty educated chick on paper, but I do believe that you're either so emotionally wrapped up into your own issues that you spew out hate, or I'm more inclined to believe that you're an Asian provocateur. Now, I see something in you when I saw the video that you posted online about the incident, the aftermath of the incident. You're a weak sort of person. You're very, very weak because you weren't rah in that video. You didn't really show anger. You weren't acting like you acted on TV One on the Roland Martin show. You weren't, this person like, yeah, the lady, she tried to call the cops on me and they didn't want me on the plane. And, I felt as though my life was in danger. And I let them know I took a stand against them. I took a stand against the system and the patriarchy society. You wasn't talking none of that patriarchy society stuff. Okay? And those corporations have men who are CEOs and VPs. You wasn't talking about that because guess what? I bet you it was a man, a white man that designed that seat. I'm just going to say it. That caused your ass to be crunched up in that chair. Okay? But you wasn't talking that patriarchy stuff, anti-white male patriarchy stuff or anti-patriarchy. No, you was talking like that. You was acting like you was trying to basically please the woman. And it's like you wanted her acceptance. And I felt that you didn't get it. And you were weak. I feel as though you were crushed. Because I believe, Amber, that you like white people better than black people. I just get that vibe from you. I believe because they've done everything for you in your career since 2012, you have been, coming up as this social media personality and the connection to these white women organization that you thought because she was a white woman that she would be empathetic and understanding of you. And you thought that because you were a woman that she would probably say, well, I am going to be uncomfortable sitting next to you, but I'm not going to make a big deal about it because at the end of the day, we're all women and women should stick together. You wasn't even saying all of that in the video. You said nothing feminist like. You didn't. You were just in shock about how this person could be so mean to you. And my thing with you, Amber, you're full of shit. Because you know how the world is. Okay? Don't try that, oh my God, she was so mean to me and I felt my life was in danger. No, girl. You want acceptance from white people, particularly white women. And you didn't get it that day. You didn't get it that day. You didn't. And another thing, too, is that I really hate the fact that people got to pull out a camera every time something happens. Like, the woman didn't want to be filmed. And that was her right. Because it wasn't authorized. She covered her face. And that was the moment where I would have said, you know what, miss, I don't want to blow up your spot, but the way you're treating me is not right. And if you continue to do it, I will bring attention to the situation. I will let the students know, but I'll put the camera away, but I just already have you on film about how you treating me. Bam, that's it. But you cried because you had only 11% of battery on your phone. And that's a weak, that's very weak. Amber, that's very, very weak. And so I said to myself, this is not a strong person. This is not a strong person. I really don't think so. I really don't think you're strong. Yeah. So my whole thing with this situation, I'm gonna say this, and I had to pause because I really had to think a little bit, and I apologize for the gaps, but this is what I'm gonna say. I believe Amber Phillips' time is coming up in terms of her being a popular figure on social media. I think people are gonna start to see who she really is. I think this is just the beginning. I believe that the powers that be did this. I believe this is to show Amber Phillips, this is what happens when you destroy people's careers. These are the repercussions. And this is not a conspiracy theory. This is not somebody, groups of people get together and trying to take down Amber Phillips. No. I believe this is a higher power that did this. Because she got off the plane unscathed, and then she got on the shuttle bus, and then, she went to wherever she went. And, I just want to say one more thing, and this goes out to all the young black girls that's entering college, leaving college, and going to the real world. Whatever issues you have in life, don't become an Amber Phillips, no matter what. No matter if you had a hard life ahead to a point where you needed counseling. Don't become like this chick. This is a bitter woman. And with all her bitterness that she spewed out in the past, when it came to people mistreating her, she buckled down. She got really weak and started crying. Is this somebody that you really want to follow? That's all I'm saying. So on that note, this is Miss Analytical signing off. Make sure to follow me on Spreaker.com and make sure to subscribe to my channel on YouTube. Peace.